If you ever tried getting into Magic Kingdom using a mobility device, whether it's a scooter, a wheelchair, rollator, or even pushing someone else, you already know this is where your day can either start smoothly or become exhausting before you even get inside. Most people think the challenge starts in the park. It doesn't. It starts the moment you arrive. Hi, I'm John, and I'm nearing 80. Now, I've talked about Magic Kingdom before, but today I want to slow things down and focus specifically on what it's really like to get inside the park when you're dealing with mobility, whether it's your own or someone you're helping, because this part of the day matters more than most people realize. Before you even reach the entrance, your experience has already been shaped by how you got there. If you're staying at a Disney resort, for instance, and a lot of people are, you're inside what I like to call the Disney bubble. Uh, Everything is there. You never even have to leave once you get inside. You got all the transportation available, the restaurants available. Uh, Everything is very easy to get to. So you don't even have to leave the complex once you're inside the Disney bubble. And depending upon where you're staying, your transportation options might be the bus, the monorail, the Skyliner, or even a boat. Each one has its own pace and its own process when you're using a mobility device. Now, if you're driving and you're going to be arriving at one of the parking lots to use, you'll go through the transportation and ticket center. Now, if you're able to get from your parking area to the ticket and transportation center on your own, that's fine if you have a scooter or a wheelchair or something like that. However, you can use one of the trams, but the trams will not let a scooter nor a wheelchair. I think they might let a rollator or maybe a fold up wheelchair on the tram, but it's not a lot of room on those. So you're going to have to make your own way in order to get to the transportation and ticket center. And once you get there, to get to the Magic Kingdom, you've got two main choices, the monorail or the ferry boat. Now, from my personal experience, the ferry is usually the easier option. There's more space, less pressure, and it's a smoother overall process. It's very easy to get onto and get off of the ferry. And one thing I always recommend, give yourself more time than you think you need. That alone can take a lot of pressure off your entire morning. That's part of how I approach a day like this. Keep things simple and reduce stress as early as possible. And I want to say something here that doesn't always get talked about. This isn't just about the person using the mobility device. If you're pushing someone in a wheelchair, that's real work. And over the course of a full day, especially in crowds, stopping and starting and dealing with inclines, that can wear you down quickly, and that's especially true when it gets hot, as it normally does at Disney, usually 8 to 9 months out of the year. So everything I'm talking about here applies to you too, because your energy matters as much. Once you reach the main entrance area, the first step is security. Now, this can feel a little overwhelming at first, but Disney does a very good job of accommodating mobility scooters. You'll be directed into a lane that works for you, and the process is usually smooth. The lane will also include people with strollers, so you'll be struggling with strollers also. The most important thing here is simple. Don't rush it, take your time, stay steady, and let the process work. There's no benefit to trying to move faster than the situation allows. Let me give you a little bit more of an insight into security. As you go through security and you go through that special lane I was talking about, there's a magnetometer that you'll have to go through. If you're able to get up out of your scooter or wheelchair and walk through and carry your bag through. However, I can't walk through unimpeded. I can get up and use my cane to get through it, but I'd rather just sit there. So what the security people normally do is ask you to take off all your bags that are hanging off your scooter or your wheelchair. Sometimes they'll help me. They'll undo the straps and they'll walk it through the magnetometer itself. And then they'll come over and they'll ask you to raise your arm and rub down the sides of your body and lift forward in your seat so they can check out the back to see if you're carrying anything. And it's pretty simple. This usually not a problem, and they'll put the bags into a hand check security area. So you'll take your scooter or your wheelchair and you'll be directed to a hand check section, and they'll open up all your bags and take the contents out and put it into a bin, and they'll look into your contents. So if you have a little camera bag inside of one of your big bags, they'll open up that camera bag. Now the thing that sets it off most of the time, you know those little Altoid tins, those metal tins? That'll set it off, so that's an automatic. If you possibly can avoid doing that, you may get past that part of the security, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't take that long. And then once you go through that part of security, you'll go out, and then you'll go into the ticketing area. And this is where things can really feel a bit tighter and more crowded. People are moving in all directions, trying to get into the right lane to get through quicker, and it can feel a little chaotic. And this is where I slow things down even more. I don't try to weave through people. I keep a steady path, and I let others adjust around me. That alone removes a lot of unnecessary stress. Now, I've been through the ticketing areas on special events when they did the Halloween party and they did the Christmas party where you get in at 4 o'clock, and it can be very crowded at that time because everybody comes into the queue thinking they're going to get in early, but that's not going to happen. Once you're in the queue, sometimes they'll let you in a little early, opening up the gates, uh, maybe about 15 minutes before so you can get into the parks. And once you get through the ticketing area for these special events, somebody will approach you that has a bunch of these little wristbands that designate your part to that event, and they'll attach it there for you. Once you get to that park, once you go through the main entrance, you'll come under a tunnel, and the train entrance or the train ramp on the right-hand side. Go through that tunnel, past the city hall to the main square, and once you get through that area, you'll get to the roundabout area. The firehouse will be on your left-hand side. Main Street will be directly in front of you. And then off to the right, that's where you'll be designated to go. And that's where you'll get your special things. For instance, a Christmas party, you'll get an ornament. For Halloween, you'll get a bag and candy at that time. But that's where you'll go for those events. But most of the time, if you're there just to get into the parks, you get on Main Street, and that's where the fun begins. It's worth mentioning again, once you get through the gates or the ticketing area, you're technically inside the park. But this is where many people run into their first real challenge. The initial crowd is just inside. People are stopping suddenly, looking where they want to go next. Families are regrouping because they may have gotten into different lines coming into the ticketing area. So that's where families meet. Everyone is trying to figure out where they're going to go next, and it's quite challenging sometimes. And I'll be honest, I've had moments coming through here where I thought to myself, man, this is a lot. And if you're not prepared for it, it can hit you pretty quickly. However, I recommend that you just don't push forward at that time. This is a moment that you pause, let things settle, take a deep breath, and then move when it feels right. That small decision can completely change how your day starts. Have an agenda, know exactly where you're going. If you're going to go to one of those special events, you know you're going to go off to the right. If you're going to go down Main Street and go off to one of the individual lands, just go down Main Street. Look at each side, enjoy everything that you see. It's going to be crowded. As I said, most people stop on Main Street and they'll either take their own pictures or selfies with the castle in the background, or the Disney professional photographers will be there taking pictures of people or groups and families. So be prepared to weave a little bit, go off to the side, and again, be patient. People are going to stop in front of you. There's no doubt in my mind. And I keep mentioning one of these days we're going to make their butt a hood ornament because I'm not going to be able to stop. However, it hasn't happened yet, and I'm pretty patient. I'll go slow and I'll just let people do their thing as people are normally going to do. One of the biggest mistakes I see is people trying to keep up with everyone else's pace. You don't need to do that. Start your day calmly, whether you're using a ECV, a wheelchair, a rollator, or pushing someone else in a wheelchair. Once your energy starts to drop early in the day, it's very hard to get it back. So before you even get into the Magic Kingdom, just remember how you start your day matters. If you rush it, if you feel pressured, if you try to keep up with everyone else, you're going to feel it before you even reach your first attraction. But if you slow things down, give yourself time, and keep things simple, you give yourself a much better chance of actually enjoying the day. And that's really what this is all about, how you enjoy your day. Now, once you're inside, that's where a different set of challenges and opportunities begin. In the next video, I'm going to walk you through the rides and attractions that, from my personal experience, are easier to navigate with a mobility device, along with some shows and attractions that can give you a real break during the day. And I'm only going to share what I've actually done so you'll get a clear, honest idea of what to expect. I'll take you to some areas where you can sit into a show and it's nice and cool, and you can relax. You can even doze if you have to, and then go back to the show again another time. But I'll give you some of those inside tips on upcoming videos. I'm only going to share what I've actually done so you'll get a clear, honest idea of what to expect. You don't have to stop doing the things you enjoy. You just have to find a better way to do them. Thanks for listening to me today. I appreciate it. And everybody, have a good day. I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye.